Good morning to you. I'm cooking breakfast this morning. So what I'm cooking right now is bacon. The pan isn't that hot, but I put the bacon in there anyway. And I'm making me some grits this morning. Bacon, grits, and eggs. And good morning to you. You know what? I'm going to read. I'm going to read a song. I will sing of mercy and judgment unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when would thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A forward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath an high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord. All right. That's Psalms 101. Okay. So I'm cooking my bacon. And I want to show you my jumbo eggs. I actually found them. I found these eggs at Harris Teeter. Here they go. When I crack them, you'll see it's 2 eggs in one. I really like that. I haven't seen that in years. I go to stores and I never see those jumbo eggs. All right. So I have my grit water. It's getting ready to boil. Yeah, I'm just cooking grits, eggs, and bacon. That's all I'm cooking this morning. And I might make me some coffee. I gotta clean the salt shaker. The salt shaker. And so put it in this water. Put it in here. Yes, it's gone. Salt shaker's gone. Get my coffee ready. you get when you put stuff in a cold pan. Or, yeah, it sticks a little bit. Jumbo eggs. You get 2 eggs in one. I think I'm going to do my eggs over medium. And get ready to turn that toaster oven on. And present to you my breakfast. I like this camera. These devices I have. Good morning. Good morning. I love these little devices I have. I can sit them, and I bought this thing from Dollar Tree. Look like little hands. Man, I'm not even fighting with the camera like I usually do. Only thing about it is that the more it cuts off, I don't know why I said that on the stove. You know what I haven't eaten in a long time? Oatmeal. But I'm making some granola. But if I make granola cereal, yeah, I got this pack of dried fruits and nuts, cherries, a whole lot of stuff. Okay. So, good morning. I'm cooking some bacon, grits, and eggs. And I want to show you my jumbo eggs I got and how it's 2 eggs in one. Okay, I'm not going to cook the eggs in the bacon grease. Hello, hello, hello. I'm cooking bacon and eggs today. Lord. And grits. And grits. I really need to cover those grits, but hey, somewhere is my top to my pot. Give me a piece of bacon. Uh-huh. Mm. Hey. Oh, please. Cook that stuff like you do rice. Grits, yeah. Cook it like you do rice. Yeah, I got a pan of butter here. Oh. Put some butter down. Oh. Okay. Put me like some toast in the toaster oven. I mean, in this oven here. What I got it on? Gotta put it on toast. It's on toast. So what I have up here is, oh Lord, plenty of olives. Some sugar-free jelly with no peekaboo in it because I can't eat it. Let's just say I'm allergic to it. My sugar goes too high. Dang, I gotta give me some new glasses. Let's see. Yeah, it has sucralose. I got this sugar-free stuff, Smuckers with sucralose. But I'm gonna try to make some jelly. Yes, I am. You need color cream, lotus cream gum, or Jello. I don't know what it's called. I can't pronounce it. Hey, let me put my egg in here before my butter burns. My butter about to burn. And watch. This one didn't come out like that. Oh, one of them had 2 eggs in one. But this one didn't come out like that. These two didn't. And one of them I cracked open. They had 2 eggs in one. I'm sorry, I can't prove it. I can't prove it today. But I got my eggs, my grits. I cracked that jumbo egg. I ain't cracking no more. That jumbo egg had 2 eggs in one. I cracked these eggs, didn't do it. Butter. Got me a jumbo egg. I like my eggs over medium. See if they come out right. My grits are cooking. My toast is toasting. No, I want to keep messing with my egg and bust the yolk. But I want the white part cooked. So let's cut this off. Come on, don't bust. Oh, let me get this one out. What's wrong with this? It's cooking. Oh, I meant toast. Okay, that's toast right there. I'm gonna boil. Okay, here's my plate. And I usually would have a bowl for grits, but okay, I'm waiting for it to toast. Oops. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Hey. Oh, it's on the table. Okay. Hello. You still can't see anything, so I don't know. Okay. Good morning to you. I'm up this morning. I'll put some butter in my grits. So good morning. Alrighty now. I didn't mean to use. Look, y'all. I used to eat this when I first was a diabetic, and I didn't eat spaghetti. I ate this whole grain spaghetti, and it stopped my sugar from going up to 400, and it worked. It worked. Okay, well, you can't see my whole plate, so I don't care. It's not true. I can't, I just can't do, oh, there you go. Now, if I just leave it like this, let's see. Oh, it's gonna fall. Okay. Hey, good morning. Okay. Want some butter on my toast. Thank you, Jesus, for this morning. I went to Walmart and I got some malted milk. Something you only can find in certain stores. There. I am happy you decided to join me today for dinner, for breakfast. Oh my God, my hand. Yeah, I've been washing them, and they look dry and cracked and whatever. And I hope they get better. Alrighty, now this is my toast and jelly. Don't taste as sweet, but it tastes good. Yeah, don't taste as sweet. I should have got all fruit, but that's good too. It's good. Don't taste nothing like all fruit. All fruit has no sugar in it. Okay, I like my eggs over medium. Thank you for this food, your goodness and mercy, kindness, all your many blessings we give. I forgot to make my coffee. I want to make my coffee. It was something horrible. What was I thinking about this morning? Something horrible. The Holocaust. Yeah, it was. I was looking through the archives and I found pictures. I started to put them up here. And then I said, no way. Because they had real footage of it. Nothing was covered up. And I got up this morning thinking about it. I know people saying it never happened. The Holocaust never happened. That's not true. And they bombed all over Europe. They bombed America, but we were so far away. And the planes was different. And I was just thinking about it. And I remember I saw that. I never been the type of person saying that never happened. Well, my community don't say that. Some communities do. It's just stuff like it never happened and all that stuff. And well, I know Hebrews. And you have a view because your words don't make reality. It happened. People had to go over there and fight in a war. People saw it firsthand. Even though some people believe it never happened. The Holocaust never happened. It don't make it true. And more importantly, we went back in. So we don't know. We know they got evidence of it. All on tape in the archives. The government put it there. We know what happened. I was thinking about it. Let me make me some coffee. Oh no! Okay. People have an opinion and a view, and I appreciate them sharing. Nobody shared nothing with me like that, but I appreciate them sharing, but it's not the truth. Some opinions is pure fantasy, but some opinions are community based. Everybody, every nationality in that community believe the same thing. But the Holocaust was real. And pictures of us on the archives are not fake. You got to go beyond believing parents. But I know that might not happen. We all follow the teachings of our community, grits. And we all just follow the teachings of our community. And actually, we don't teach that. You know what? It's Black History Month. My mama's generation, some African Americans were on farms as slaves, even though they were set free. And during the war, German war, they went over Europe. They did something, some of them did, that they would never do in America. They dated Caucasian women. They were returning to a farm as a slave. And the peasant weren't allowed there. And they left children. And I saw this documentary about it. And it was horrible what happened to, in England it was horrible what happened to them. What happened to the Africans of England, people of African descent of England. It was horrible. And what happened to the women? You know, they couldn't marry, they won't, because they came from farms. They weren't going to do it. They went back home. They lived as a slave. Some of them did. They lived on a farm as a slave. And if they brought a Caucasian woman over here in America, saying, "This is my wife and child," they will do him in her, and maybe even the children. So they thrive better in Europe. Some might have came back to them. Got under the boat and came back and lived in Europe. They did not work in this American. You had to escape them. You had to get on that boat and escape them. But once you could escape in Europe, they couldn't drag you back. Our coffee almost ready. And so I wanted to talk about the African American soldier. I have video I got from the archives, Library of Congress. And you can see, I'm not putting it up now, how the African American soldier lived. They didn't have any books to learn how to read and write. If you didn't learn that in your town, you weren't going to learn it as a soldier. While Caucasians had books and they learned how to read and write. I got this picture in the archives from this abolitionist lady clutching the history of slavery. They finally got a chance to put it in schools. With American history. I think in my area, they got a chance to put it in schools. The abolitionists did get a chance to put that in school after Martin Luther King march. But hi, good morning. If they hit an area where they did that at, they hit an area they lived. They probably started it. You know, like I said, if they hit an area where they're allowed to do that, I don't know. My mama's generation went to a black school. An abolitionist moved on the African American side, and I think they built and shared a grade school. But you know, in middle school and high school, Newport News was real segregated. That's where my mama was raised at. It was real segregated. I was raised there too. It was real segregated. And when you went to her hometown, my grandma's hometown, it was one school. They didn't build black schools. It's just that the African Americans had to walk from the East End to Denby. And they had to go to school. If they didn't go, they would be in real bad trouble. There was no choice. That was my mama. There was no choice. But when you went to Newport News, it was segregated, more segregated. They had like schools in the East End, and then they had schools just for African Americans in the East End, and then they had schools up there. And everything you got, you had to, anytime you built, you had to go through the railroad and the shipyard. Huntington, yeah. The railroad and the shipyard, but of course when Huntington High School was built, Huntington, I think he was alive. I don't know. All I know is that they had to appeal to Huntington because I read about it. And Huntington kept made the little kids go to school with the teenagers. Well, they were certified, honey. They were certified. They were certified and they were real segregated. And the little kids did not go to school with the teenagers. And so finally he approved Huntington High School to be built. And that was a school the African Americans went to. Unfortunately, I think the abolitionists, I don't know what they did, because I know it was a school down there. But I don't know how old it was. It was a grade school. Mama said she was in the neighborhood. She went to Huntington. And she didn't tell me if Caucasians went to that school with her. She lived with them, near them. Yeah, she lived over there with the abolitionists. And the city required segregation. But during the war in the 40s, back on the subject, because I started talking. During the war in the 30s, I think it was the 30s or 20s, the German War and the Holocaust. All right, so I was watching what happened in England. All of a sudden, it was all these women with children with no fathers. And the men couldn't come back and marry them because even though they fought in the war and they were military, some of them were still slaves. But when you went to their country, they were free. They were able to marry whoever they want to marry, but they weren't allowed to be in the military. The people of African descent. Now, it won't like that in America. You're going in the military. And let me tell you a family story. So, everybody was free. And everybody went to the cavalry, right? Cavalry was the military. And they was out there fighting the Native Americans, right? The people who, indigenous, Native American, the people, the tribes of America. Well, we the tribes too now, but the tribes, the Native American, the tribes. And Caucasian never heard didn't track. Europe didn't track. Bows and arrows, they only used guns. It was just a whole mismatch. Now, Africa was free. The people of African descent. Now, everybody didn't erase everything because it was up to the people as they marry into a race, and everybody didn't erase language and how to make poison arrows and all that kind of stuff. They didn't erase all that. They knew how to track, so they went and they became a part of the country. This is a story from my family. And they were now free. They were really free, just like we are now. No Jim Crow, no back door. Build where you want to build. And they were free to the max. They had businesses right there with Caucasians. They were off the farm. They build farms. I mean, they went to any store they wanted to. It wasn't, this place for blacks, this place for whites. It was none of that. The African Americans were free. So they knew how to track. They knew everything the Native American knew. Smoke signals. I don't know about smoke signals. Africa gave smoke signals. Drums. How to read drums. And so they were free and they were running with the military, and they were part of the cavalry, which is the military. And they were chasing and killing Indians, and they were getting nowhere. So they wrote them, because they could read and write. So they wrote them and told them, do not run with those Caucasians to kill the Native Americans. Do not teach them tracking. Do not teach them poison arrows. Do not teach them anything you know. Act like you don't know. And they said this because they said they're going to turn on you. If you help them kill those Native Americans, they're going to turn on you. So some people believed it, and some people didn't. And so they went out there, they helped them track the Indian, kill off the Native American. They taught them and worked beside them and taught them everything they knew. And they said, don't do it. So this is my family. And so they did it. And they dissipated the Indians with them. And then they turned around, Jim Crow. I don't know if it happened around, it had to happen after Jim Crow, because the military got segregated after Jim Crow. They turned around and they chased them out of the country and they ran them into Mexico. And really, people, this is a story from my family. And then they told them that they were never teaching the Americans said that, African Americans. Then they said that they were never teaching them. They were going to erase everything African. They said, you're going to be European. And we, the African Americans, are teaching you nothing. And we're going to erase everything out of you. You will never hear African language again. You will never hear the traditions of our tribes. You're going to be just like them. And we're going to erase everything. Oh, the African Americans in my family, yeah, they do erase. They stand up there and do things with their parents that their parents handed down to them, and then they won't do those things with their children. They do erase. They erase, And to this day, my mama said this, there's communities that do not sit with the Native Americans. They sit with the African Americans and the Caucasians sit together, but they don't sit with the Native Americans. They don't sit with them. But by the time the war came, a lot of people had erased a lot of things out of their children, so the children won't know tracking and all that stuff. And they decided that if you marry the Native Americans, they'll teach you that, and if you don't, they won't. But it's also a group of Native Americans that don't like African Americans and don't claim they're African American children. Not too many of them do it because they made squads, and those people were serious that did this. And you will be held. I got all off the subject again. That's why I gotta write stuff down. I'm all the way on Indians, and I was talking about Europe in that war. And the people who lived through it over there in Europe do not like Nazis at all. That's the ones who lived through it. Because they remember those people bombing their cities, and you just never lived through a bombing. But nor have I. But yeah, they couldn't go get them. They couldn't go get their children if they wanted to. They couldn't do it at all. And it really, that's really the way it was. And so they was left over there, all these women without children, and all these children without daddies. And so when they went back, some of them went back to the farm. Someone probably came back, like I said, on the boat. The workers on the boat probably did. But when they went back, they went back to farms and went back living as slaves. And some things you just didn't know about America because you're from Europe. And there's some things we don't know about you because we're from America. And so, yeah. And so they couldn't go back to those women. They couldn't go back to the women. You call them a lot of names. You call them anything. But they were in love with them because you hi, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning. I cooked for breakfast. I cooked eggs, bacon, and grits. And I was just talking about my family history and a little bit about what's going on, um, and a little bit about other things. Well, it cut off for me. I don't know. Maybe I'd say the trigger word. I don't know. But yeah, they couldn't go back. They were slaves on a farm in that generation. Some of them were. And they were also forbidden to leave the country. So they couldn't go back. But I know it's a lot of American kids over there, and they should be logged as Americans and Europeans. But but I just wanted to say that. And I was thinking about the German War and all this stuff that didn't happen, that they got on tape in the archives, that I was going to put it up there, but I would have to cover up a lot of bodies and stuff and blur out a lot of stuff like that. I'm telling you, young people, the Holocaust was real. That war was real. They was over there fighting. All that was reality. Europe being blown up, real. American ships being shot out of water, real. Just what you see over there in the Ukraine is what happened in England, France, Germany, Russia, all over the place because of this group called the Nazis. Hitler. He was nothing but a war maker. He did nothing but make war. Like Napoleon. Napoleon started off good. He gonna change France, and next thing you know, he was making war all over the country, all throughout Europe. He had a new war going on. Hitler was like that. He had a new war going on. Hitler was like that. The war was real. The Holocaust real. And the Hebrews are real, or the children of Israel. They really alive. They really survived. Their religion survived. That means they survived. In Africa, there's still 12 tribes. They just split up. Some ran into Africa, some ran into Europe after Rome. Some went to China. China was right next door. They were right next door when Jesus was there. They was over there in Saudi Arabia. They were right next door. But it's something I wanted to read to you. And I'm going to talk about it. What Jesus said, something Jesus said. And I'm going to talk about it. But I don't know. I got up this morning thinking about the Holocaust. I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad you sit here and talked with me. I'm very happy to see you. And like, subscribe, and tune into my channel. And I'm just sick to death of sitting in this house alone. And I said, why don't I have a conversation with you about that stuff running through my mind? Because I'm not talking to me. I talk to Jesus. I'm not talking to me. Give me a cup of coffee and some water. Oh, thank you. Bye.